Om. Hello and namaste friends. I live in North America and I started this series of videos to share what I learned about Sanatana Dharma because I find that its concepts and values are very helpful to remain steady through life's many challenges. My hope is that one or more of these videos you will find ideas or concepts from Sanatana Dharma that you can apply in your lives too. We all aim to lead happy lives. I found the secret of everlasting bliss by applying the teachings of Sanatana Dharma in my life. I hope that you do too. If you're wondering what is Sanatana Dharma, no worries. Many still think of it as Hinduism. However, Hinduism and Hindu are words that are not found in ancient scriptures. On the other hand, the term dharma is found in many of these scriptures, like the Bhagavad Gita. It is believed that Hindu is a term coined by foreigners who ventured close to the northwest of Bharata long ago, that is India, in the region where the river Sindhu flows from the Himalayas to the ocean. For those of you who are curious to know about its location, you can search for the Indus River, which was its Latinized name given by the British when they ruled Bharat. The name India, by the way, was also derived from this. I will use the original name of the country, that is Bharata, in these videos. So what does Sanatana Dharma mean? Sanatana means eternal and Dharma means the righteous way of life. So Sanatana Dharma is the eternal righteous way of life. Is it a religion? Well, it does not have a single spiritual leader, nor a single holy book, nor a single holy place, although all its teachings originated from across Bharata over hundreds of thousands of years. Yes, you heard that right. I plan to make a video on Sanatana Dharma's concept of time later in this series to provide more information on timelines according to Sanatana Dharma's scriptures. There are no mandatory practices to be followed in Sanatana Dharma. There is no conversion process either. In fact, many people find its various teachings, values, concepts, and practices very useful, and they apply them to live better lives without losing anything, without any obligations. For example, hundreds of millions of people practice yoga asanas, mispronounced as yoga, across the world, as well as pranayama. I will talk more about those in upcoming videos. In movies or elsewhere, you may already have heard about karma, reincarnation, moksha, and maya. These concepts have spread across the world over the last few thousands of years. My aim is to clarify what I understand the concepts of Sanatana Dharma to mean, providing examples from real life so that you can use those in your everyday lives for your benefit. Sanatana Dharma is vast, it has many scriptures, and the religious practices that are associated with it are also very diverse. By not seeking to impose a standard approach for all, this diversity offers its followers the freedom to chart their own specific spiritual paths that work best for them. Colonizers used to joke that Sanatana Dharma's followers seemed to have 33 million deities. They were, ironically, very close to the truth. Not only do its followers have the freedom to chart their own spiritual paths and to modify those across their lives as they evolve spiritually, Sanatana Dharma also encourages seekers to perceive the infinite reality in everything. So a river, a mountain, a rock, a tree, an animal, a person, anything can be used to connect to the infinite reality. Sanatana Dharma has some core common concepts and values. My aim is to share these with you in this first introductory video and then to explain each of those in subsequent videos. By the way, you may have noticed that there are two types of letters A. The one with a dash on top is pronounced as A and the other one as A. So for example, on this screen we would pronounce these words as Sanatana Dharma. The concepts and values of Sanatana Dharma that I will be referring to throughout this series influence how followers of Sanatana Dharma think and act throughout their lives. And these are Dharma, Moksha, Maya, Karma, the aims of life, the stages of life, the time cycle of samsara, the tendencies or guns, the path leading to union with the infinite reality or yoga, and the values of Sanatana Dharma. These concepts can all be found in Sanatana Dharma scriptures such as the Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, and many others. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, an ancient text, lists the 10 values of Sanatana Dharma known as the yams and niyams. These are Satya, truthfulness, Ahimsa, avoidance of violence, Brahmacharya, restraint, Asteya, not stealing, Aparigraha, not desiring what is not yours, Saucha, purity, Santosha, contentment, Tapa, self-sacrifice, Swadhyaya, self-knowledge, Ishwar Pranidhana, surmounting one's ego to embrace the higher reality. I will share with you my understanding of what each of those key concepts and these values mean in subsequent videos. Now I'd like to cycle back to what motivated me to launch this series of videos. While my civilizational, cultural, and spiritual roots are in Bharat, India, I know that it is possible to transmit and receive knowledge and values of Sanatana Dharma across generations and in different parts of the world. I am in fact several generations away from Bharat. I spent most of my life in North America. I have a bachelor's and master's degrees which I earned in Europe. So how did I acquire knowledge of Sanatana Dharma and my heritage? How was this knowledge imparted to me? My parents wanted to make sure that what I learned at school was balanced by my knowledge of and my ancestral culture. So they played a key role as my first gurus since early childhood, dispelling the darkness of ignorance as gurus do. By the way, this is what guru means in Sanskrit. Gu refers to ignorance and ru to removing. So a guru helps us to remove our ignorance. Sanatana Dharma has this shlok or verse, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And this means Guru is like Brahma, that is, the Guru creates good tendencies in us. Guru is like Vishnu, that is, the Guru develops those qualities. Guru is like Maheshwara, that is, the Guru destroys bad tendencies. The Guru is also a form of the Supreme Brahman, God, because the Guru helps us to attain our spiritual goals. My salutation to the Guru. So this is a way for us to express our gratitude to all the Gurus who help us dispel our spiritual ignorance throughout life. Going back to my own journey, my parents read the Mahabharata and Ramayana to me in my early childhood. These are important historical and spiritual scriptures of Sanatana Dharma. We also watched and enjoyed the related TV serials. To ensure that I understood that these scriptures are historical as well as being meant for spiritual guidance, my parents showed me the findings of the submerged ruins of Dwarka through YouTube videos, as these confirm that the city of Dwarka mentioned in the Mahabharata really existed. Our scriptures also mention that it sunk into the sea after Sri Krishna's death, and this was likely due to an earthquake in that region. Apparently, there are now submarine tours of the site. My parents also showed me satellite images of the seabed between the southern tip of Bharata and the northern tip of Sri Lanka. This confirms that this Ram Setu, or the bridge that was mentioned in the Ramayana, also existed. They also talked to me about the geological changes that led to the drying up of the Saraswati River in northwest Bharata, which is also mentioned in ancient scriptures, as that likely led to the abandoning of several ancient cities, which were part of the Indus Valley civilization probably, as the water supply dried up and their residents followed their kings to settle around the Ganga, Yamuna and Saryu. These were events of past eras or yugas. I do not use the term mythology when referring to the ancient scriptures of Sanatana Dharma, as this term also means popular beliefs that are probably not true or lacking factual basis or historical validity. Sanatana Dharma scriptures indicate that 2025 corresponds to year 5127 of Kali Yuga, and that three other eras preceded the current one, each of these previous eras lasting several 100,000 years. From early childhood, I was also attracted to the prayers that my grandparents performed in our home. I joined those prayers and learned a number of shlokas in Sanskrit. As I grew older, my parents explained their meanings to me in English. I also enjoy the peace that comes with letting go of my ego when listening to delightful devotional songs in Sanskrit or pure Hindi. I know that spiritual knowledge is essential to navigate through the pitfalls of the material world that we live in. Whenever I'm faced with questions and doubts, I turn to my spiritual knowledge, to Dharma, to find the right way and to keep moving towards the ultimate goal of liberation from bondage to the material world and towards the bliss of eternal consciousness of reality, Satchit Anand. Understanding spirituality and culture, for example, why cows are considered sacred or why the tulsi plant is valued, was helpful. The rational explanations that I was provided with or that I read on my own allowed me to feel much more confident about the purpose of certain aspects of Sanatana Dharma. My parents discussed the values of Sanatana Dharma with me as I grew up. These discussions were centered around real life situations, mostly in relation to what we were going through ourselves. This being said, I realized that the knowledge received through my gurus and scriptures is a starting point only, and that I can only fully realize their benefit through practice and self-reflection. So in my everyday life, I try to think and act on the basis of these teachings. In subsequent videos in the series, I will speak more about this knowledge and understanding beyond the mere acceptance of beliefs helps me with living the values of Sanatana Dharma. So this being said, we have all heard of the existential question, who am I? Here's what I've learned from Sanatana Dharma. On a spiritual plane, I would answer the question, who am I, by referring to the Upanishads, a series of ancient scriptures, which answer the question in this way. neti neti, or I am not this, I am not that. Here is what this means. We could describe ourselves in an infinite number of ways, but these would all be illusory. For example, we are born, we grow up, we have many different types of relationships in life, we grow older, eventually pass away after playing multiple roles in life. None of our life moments lasts forever, and we keep changing all the time. Yet, at any point in time, we are under the illusion that we know who we are and that we are who we think we are. So who are we really? Sanatana Dharma says, Aham Brahmasmi. This means that we are really one with an infinite, changeless reality, like all the drops of water that make up the ocean. So we are not mere mortal beings living temporary moments through our lives. We just have to realize that realization paves the way to moksha. That is our liberation from the bondage of the illusion of a never-ending series of impermanent happenings in our lives. So what? Well, after attaining moksha, this allows us to live mentally healthier, freer, happier lives. We get to enjoy the bliss of being always aware of the reality. This brings me to the end of what I wanted to share with you in this introductory video about my understanding of Sanatana Dharma. I hope this was a good use of your time. In subsequent videos in this series, I aim to go deeper into the concepts and values of Sanatana Dharma as I understand them, and to describe how to live according to these to attain our material and spiritual goals. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics related to Sanatana Dharma that you would like me to address, you can email these to me. I will address those that I can. Also, if you find these videos useful, please share the link to this channel with others who might be interested. And yes, please subscribe to the channel and like the videos you like. Thank you for your attention. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.